morning. Today's February 5th, 2026. It's an 8-day. I don't have to tell you guys about eights. Eights relate back to the strength card. It's about our personal power and manifestation today. This morning's message, I don't even know what to do. I wish I knew who this reading is for, because I want to reach out and slap you. Like right on the back of the head. What are you thinking? What are you doing? And we're about to find out. So what is happening that has me like baffled why you would do this? Is that a cycle of bullshit has ended. And yet you're still attached to that old pattern. Like you haven't disengaged from those things. They're over. There is a sense of stuckness about it. Like you're just maintaining. You're surviving, not thriving. Like you've learned the lesson, yet you're unwilling to integrate it so you can rebuild. It has something to do with your second chakra. That's your sensuality and sexuality and your creative ability. Two cards. Hostilities reversed. It's over. Storm warning reversed. It's over. And at the bottom of the deck we have attachment. And the second chakra. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you refusing to move forward? Or why are you unwilling to move forward? Hold on. I had to clear some files out. Anyway, yeah, what are you doing, man? Like, this stuff is done. So just to real quick recap, on Storm, we'll do all the cards. Storm warning reverse indicates that the dark times are behind you. Or at least they're beginning to fall away. Let yourself consider where you want to go next. Spend more time reflecting on the difficulty that has passed. What was the lesson for you? It's about self-love or empowerment. Remember, whether it's about self-love or empowerment, remember to bring these intentions and the lessons learned into your bright new path. Okay, that seems like self-love. Okay. Hostilities, which is card number 26, also reversed. There's a shift in the energies around you and even about you, and the universe is supporting your own internal shift as well. Whether the aggressive action is ended due to external factors or your own intervention, this card bodes well for for more peace and harmony. Beware that there may still be some action you have to take. Second chakra, card 36. Okay, so the Archangel Ariel is promoting inspired creativity and greater comfort with intimacy. It's urging you to get creative. Let yourself reach out into unexplored areas of self-expression and new projects that may have a more creative approach. This is also a time when the energies of closeness with others and nurturing yourself can flow more freely. You can now open yourself to the emotional intimacy that may be coming your way. So nurture yourself and be ready to receive. And attachment. Passage forward is being stopped by strong attachments to old patterns or people from the past. The chain is bolted to fear from the past or desperation about the future. Although you may wear the mask of pretense or even contentment, you simply can't seem to go forward. The stuff that's keeping you stuck could be physical addictions, emotional patterns, or even old relationships. Are you living in fear, addicted to old unhealthy habits, or so desperate about the future that you can't be happy right now? What are you doing? What are you doing? It's time to integrate this shit. Get it over with. It's done. It doesn't even exist anymore. And then I got the Sustainer. Okay, well, that's an amazing card. The Sustainer's great. It's, part of the triad, the Creator, the Sustainer, and the Destroyer. What the hell at the bottom of the deck was the Destroyer? So here we have a situation without the Creator, without the second chakra. There's an unwillingness to move on and rebuild. You're surviving, not thriving. You're blocking your own movement forward. Remember I said yesterday that there's a story in the Bible for every single situation. We just have to learn how to read it. Okay? So going back to that idea, and we're looking in the book of Matthew, chapter 1, and we see that Judah and Tamar are in the lineage after Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Their story is in Genesis chapter 38. It's short. I'm going to give you my interpretation. In Jewish tradition, when a husband dies, the wife was to be married off to the next in line, and the next son, and immediately consecrate that relationship. And the child born from that would be known as the other son's child, so that way they could get the inheritance. Very fucking strange. Jewish traditions, ridiculous. But anyway, so Tamar was the son, or the wife of Judah's oldest son. And he was seen as wicked in the eyes of the Lord. So God killed him. So in tradition, Tamar is then wed to the second son. The second son was like, no way, man. Like, all of my kids now are going to lose inheritance because of this death because he was married, and I don't want that to happen. So instead of spilling his seed and conceiving a child, he chose to pull out. God was like, that's fucked up, and kills him. So now Tamar is husbandless, and Judah, because he is afraid that she's the reason that his sons keep dying, sends her to go live with her in her father's house. So go back to her birth family's home, while his youngest son, who's the next in line to marry her, finishes growing up. So he would be like at least younger than 13. He hasn't been bar mitzvahed yet. Even though it's not directly stated, he was too young to be a husband. So he would have had to have been around 12 or 13. Well, Tamar, in a desperate attempt to have a child by this family, as part of her wifely duties, sees that the youngest son is still way too young, so she decides to remove her widow clothes. So she would have been dressed in all black. She takes those off. She puts on something sexy, covers her face, and goes and sits at a crossroads to wait for Judah. Now, Judah, his wife had just died, and he went as a celebration of life to shear his sheep. And when he was on his way back, he sees Tamar, but because she's got a mask on, he assumes that she's a prostitute, and he's like, hell yeah, I want to get me some of that. So he's like, well, what can I pay you? I can give you a kid, like a baby goat. And she's like, okay, but I also want, and there was 3 items, his signet ring being one of them, and the signets are different depending on what house you belong to. So he was like, okay, well, well, he gave her these 3 things to hold on to, because he would have had to go get the goat. So she holds on to these things for him, and they're basically like identifiers, like me giving the bank my driver's license. What do they call that? Collateral. Okay, so anyway, the deed is done. A child is conceived. A pregnancy happened, and he goes off to his flock to go and get her a baby goat. And when he comes back, she's gone. So Judah goes home. And life goes on. In about 3 months, it's found out that Tamar is pregnant. And basically, he wants to have her accused of going outside of Jewish tradition and getting pregnant, basically whoring herself out. And then she's like, well, tell me who these belong to. You know, she's like in trial right now because she's married into Judah's family, and he doesn't know who she could have been with to get pregnant because his youngest son is not yet old enough. And she's like, well, tell me who these are. And the jury looks at the stuff, and they're like, oh, well, that's Judah's. She was a smart lady. So anyway, she ends up giving birth to twins, and those twins kind of reversed some stuff as far as firstborn heirs go. One of them, you know, during the birthing process, one of them had stuck his hand out, so the midwife tied a red string around it so that way they'd know which baby was the firstborn to be the heir. And he pulled his hand back in, and then the other one came out first. So the first scene ended up not being the firstborn. Creativity and sexuality. So this is second chakra stuff. Like, for the divine feminine, like, make sure you always have evidence. Tamar wasn't attached to the old pattern. She decided to get creative and figure out how to get it done, what she needed to get done. Go read the story, Genesis 38. You know, a lot like Esther, who also used her sexuality as a means to trap Haman, and that's ultimately how he, you know, was caught to be hung. And those twins, I think it was Perez, who was actually the second baby but breached and came out first, ended up being an ancestor to Christ. He went on to be, you know, Christ. So there, or not Christ, but you get what I'm saying. So the polarity flipped. Jewish tradition got shaken up. There's a need to get creative. I want to look more into this. I don't understand why you're doing this. Four of Swords reversed. No, that one. That one. Okay, Five of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So, all right, so you're finding mental strength, awakening, rejoining the world, coming out of isolation. Like, all of this stuff over here is done, and, you know, you've been able to rest, and you've been able to just chill and get it all, you know, squared away. And then I got the Ten of Pentacles reversed here, right? So this was unexpected changes. Like, you want to come out of isolation, but all of this stuff that happened created what is perceived as lack for you. So whatever this pattern that you're holding on to, you feel like your abundance is attached to it. Then the Knight of Swords comes in. So there's a need for you to get decisive, to seize the moment. The Five of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. You've like hung up your white flag somehow. And you surrendered. And instead of surrendering to the divine, you just surrendered to the tower that happened, that you're coming out of. So you're still like, haven't picked up those building blocks yet. The sustainer is the peacemaker, the upholder, and the preserver. It works behind the scenes, tending to the tasks of life. The sustainer cultivates gardens, pays bills, keeps the meals warm, and the mouths sweetly fed. The sustainer is at peace in the process of life, knowing there is no start or finish to humble yet meaningful tasks. They have a natural inclination to nourish others, to see their role in the divine cycle of life. It's common for the sustainer to become overworked, leading to resentment. Their tasks are glamorous, therefore the sustainer rarely receives the credit or attention. The sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly that they resist necessary change. And the destroyer is 5 card, by the way. It's card number 23, and today is February 5th, so 5. The destroyer is the savage, the unexpected, the rejected. This is the final of the 3 archetypes, the sustainer, creator, destroyer. Has a necessary yet painful work to do in the world. Culturally, we have an aversion to endings, and we hang on to performance as a signifier of success. The destroyer pulls the rug out from underneath relationships, jobs, homes, and all forms of security. It's the part of us that wants to end things. The destroyer doesn't let us linger long in comforts, as it knows not much happens in that realm. With its piercing eyes, it seeks out stagnancy from a distance, and the rest becomes history. In the old myths, this is the moment when heads begin to roll, the ground opens up, and the castles crumble. Hold on for the ride. The destroyer has arrived. And this was at the bottom of the deck, too. So this is self-destruction, negativity, and unwillingness to rebuild. But it wants to be swift and precise to redirect our life. What else? The moon reversed. One more. And the emperor. You need to see the illusion. You need to see the illusion. There is a creative answer to this problem. You need to detach from whatever the situation was that ended. You need to detach from the situation that has ended. You know, it seems to me like it was a hard blow. It may have had something to do with self-sabotage. You may have been self-sabotaging, making choices that you thought were for the greatest good of everybody, but you were denying yourself. The moon reversed, the 4 of Swords reversed, the 10 of Pentacles reversed, take off the glasses that have left you in the matrix and see that the lesson in this was that you were fucking yourself up, so it had to end. Detach from those emotions. This is about you regaining composure. The Emperor is out here on top of the Sustainer. This is you not over giving or over nurturing or anything, that you found your stability. You find your stability when you release control. You're not in control of anything. The only thing that you can control is yourself. Okay, I love you guys. 23:30 on the clock, and I will catch you on the next one.